Hey guys, it has been such a long time since I have done a YouTube video. I decided now is as good a time as any to jump right back in. So my goal for this video is to tell you what we're using as far as homeschool curriculum goes. We're almost finished up with our year. We have like two science lessons that we need to bust out, and then we are completely done. Everything else is wrapped up. All the math, all the language arts, history, just all the things are wrapped up. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to start off. I'm going to go youngest to oldest. Now, my youngest school-age child is a preschooler. So my thing with preschool is I really like to read with them a lot, do hands-on stuff. I like to start to introduce letters and things like that. And I'm also very frugal. If you don't know that about me, that's something about me. So I love Dollar Tree for the different little workbooks and things. This one I found there, and it's letters of the alphabet, and it's a little Winnie the Pooh thing, and it's perfect. Let me see if I can find you a good one. So this gives you an idea of what all's in there, and it's literally you go over the letter and they practice writing the letter. And I would sometimes like go a little bit deeper than that with it, and we would do like, there's these have fun teaching videos that go over letter sounds, and they're really, really well done. You can find those on YouTube. So that is what I did with my preschooler. We did the alphabet, and we did numbers 1 through 12, and he can count like way higher than that, but this just gives you an idea of what this workbook looks like. And again, these are just found at the Dollar Tree, so it's just like counting and circling and stuff like that. And then this is his book for church. This is part of Awana, and what this is he has, it's a little story, and it follows Cubby Bear and Timothy through their adventures on Apple Acres, and there's a lot of really good biblical truths that are taught through this. I really enjoy doing this with him. So you read the little story, and then it has a thing where it dives into the Bible a little bit. There's a memory verse. There are core truths that they teach, and then you get to see my signature. That's okay. And then it has a little activity up here that you do with your child. So this is like a little hands-on activity to do throughout the week. And then in their Awana Club on Wednesday night, what they do is they have a little snack and a little like devotional and stuff, and they teach them about what lesson you had done at home. So that's really nice. It's a nice way to have that. So that was his on his own stuff. Like that was his individual studies, was the alphabet, the numbers, and then he had his little Awana cubby book. Now on to my next child. He is in 2nd grade, and he does this through our church. It's called Olympians, and it is so well done there, and it's a wonderful program. And so this is his devotional from that. So this was one of his on his own things. I'm going to try to find blank pages because this is a full year. There's a full year's worth of devotionals in here, so that makes it really nice. So each week has a different topic, and every single day there's a little devotional and a little thing for them to read from the Bible, and then a little activity to do. Then it gives you an idea of something to pray about. So this is what my 2nd grader is doing as his Bible study. So there's that for him. I started off the year, I switched him halfway through. So I started off the year doing Easy Peasy for him. We did Easy Peasy language arts, reading, and math, and that's how we started off. and we probably did about half of the year. But if you don't know about Easy Peasy, it's a really nice program and it's free. And you'll see here, I started him off on level 1 because that reading that they have them doing in Easy Peasy, I mean, it is at a higher level than you would expect for the grade level. And I've heard it said before that she expects children to start level 1 at 3rd grade, because in Pennsylvania, where she is from, that's actually where I'm from too, in Pennsylvania, you're not, well, you weren't until this year, you weren't required to begin filing with the school district or telling them that you were homeschooling until your child was 8 years old. So a lot of kids started school in 3rd grade, or at least started reporting about it. So her stuff starts off at a 3rd grade level. And so we were doing this whenever he was in 2nd grade. I felt like he was ready for that. I feel like I'm rambling about Easy Peasy, but it's really, really well done and it's free. So go check out the website. Just Google it and you'll be able to find it. So we started off the year doing Easy Peasy Language Arts and Reading, and we also did Easy Peasy Math. Now, my opinion with the math, it is okay. I feel that it is a little bit slow going. It looks like I jumped ship earlier on this than I realized. But it's like, I don't feel like this is 2nd grade level stuff. I feel like it's a little bit slow. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it is on point. Who knows? This is more towards the end of the year, the stuff they're doing in Easy Peasy. I might actually have him go back through and just do this stuff as he feels like it. But I do like Easy Peasy because it's free, and then the language arts and the reading is so well done. So that's what he was doing at the beginning of the year. Then we jumped ship and we switched it up and we went to one of these workbooks. You can find these at Walmart, on Amazon, I'm sure other places too, but this one came from Walmart. And this is, it has reading, language arts, handwriting, and math all in one. So we started then working through this, because I even felt like the 1st grade reading, I felt like it was a little bit too much for him. Also, we only have one laptop in our house, and to have them do it on a tablet or on my phone or something like that, it just wasn't working out. Next year we'll be having 2 laptops, so it'll make things more doable whenever it comes to computer-based stuff. So at least that's the goal. So he switched to this and he started to buzz through this, and he did really well going through this. And I feel like this stuff is pretty much on point with grade level. Now we do not, they start in 2nd grade, they start doing cursive. And I did not have him do the cursive. He did some of it on his own because he's left-handed and I'm not ready for him to do cursive. I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm thinking maybe 3rd grade, which is next year, we might start into cursive. I could see us still printing for a little while. We'll see. So that is it for my 2nd grader for his individual studies. So for him, we started off doing Easy Peasy. Halfway through the year, we switched to that Scholastic workbook. Now on to my 4th grader, my daughter. She's my oldest. And what we did with her. So she also does the Olympians program at our church. And this devotional, I'm pretty sure anybody can buy it, so go check it out. This one's for 3rd and 4th grade. And let me see if I can find a chunk that she did not write in yet. We'll go back here a ways. Okay. So you can see hers is a little bit more in depth. So it has longer passages to read, whereas my 2nd grader, he only had like maybe a verse or 2 verses. She has several verses that she reads, and then she does a little activity, and then hers, instead of something to pray about, hers goes into get started. And an example is, each day you are alive is something to be thankful for. Write one special way God has blessed you. And then they can write that down. Sometimes it an idea of a service, like a Christian service or something like that, that the kids can do. So these are just, I mean, these are really well done. So if you are a Christian, check these things out. If your church doesn't already do this, this is a really good devotion. I love it. Cannot say enough good things about it. So that is, and she also has the Bible memory verses. So the older kids also have Bible memory verses that they do too. So that's on her own. And then we do Easy Peasy for her for reading and language arts. And so I opted to buy the printables because it costs more money for me to print everything on my own compared to just buying it. So definitely, if you're thinking about doing Easy Peasy, just the workbooks are like dirt cheap. Just buy the workbooks, at least the printables, so they're already printed for you, because that will save you money in the long run. So she did Easy Peasy level 4 for reading and language arts, and they had some really good books in there, like the Penderwick paper or papers, whatever it is. She loved that. She read This Was Family Robinson, Alice in Wonderland. No, you know what? She'll be reading Alice in Wonderland next year, but she already read it this year because she wanted to. I can't remember what else she read, but she read some really good stuff. And then she is actually doing cursive handwriting. So she finished this thing up. I found this at Barnes & Noble. And this was her second year of working through this. So I'm going to give you a little peek. So this is what it looks like. And this was from almost 2 years ago that she started on it. And it goes through and it tells you about a place through a picture, has you write the letters, and then it has you like write sentences, has you make up your own sentence. But it's really interesting because it's cursive writing around the world. It takes you through 26 different places around the world. So it's like you're getting geography in there too a little bit, which is fun. But she finished that up this year, so that's really exciting. Next year we'll continue on doing handwriting and cursive, because her print is like on point. She's better at printing than what I am. Now for math, whenever my kids hit third grade, we switched to this. And I'm sure I've seen so many homeschoolers use this. So this is teaching textbooks, and I opt for this because I have 4 kids and it's going to roll through all of them and I only have to buy it once. And I'm going to do a video about how I buy curriculum because I do not spend a lot of money on curriculum at all. So I will do a video about how I get curriculum for a decent price. So teaching textbooks comes with 4 CDs, at least at these younger grade levels. So we've done 3rd and 4th grade so far. And so these just, you load it onto your laptop, you switch through the CDs as you need to throughout the year. There are 119 lessons total, and then there are quizzes in there and stuff. And so we also have the text, which we can use if we need to. This year we did not need to. Next year my son might need to use the text, I'm not sure. But I've heard people say that this is a little bit behind where the public school would be. I don't really see that. Maybe it depends on where you're at. I don't know. But in addition to this math, and then here's the answer booklet. So it comes with CD-ROMs, the text, and then an answer booklet. I never use the answer booklet. I rarely use the text. This is where it's at, and the CDs are where it's at, and we use this plus a notebook, and that's where she just does all of her work. And so I don't know what I was just saying. This is also available online now. So if you have a ton of kids, or if you're starting out using it later, because I know as you go on through teaching textbooks, those older levels get to be really pricey compared to like the grade school levels. So as you go into like pre-algebra, algebra, calculus, geometry, stuff like that, you might want to just do the online subscription. And depending on how many kids you have, it might be more worthwhile to do the online subscription. You just really need to like crunch the numbers. I mean, it's math. Why not, right? Okay, I'm going to stop with that because that's going to be another video. So in addition to the reading and language arts that we do, I also like to find series of books for my kids to kind of work their way through, for us to buy a ton of books of that type for them. So my second grader is loving the Magic Treehouse books. So we just keep on buying them. He has read every single one that we own at least once now. I'm pretty sure he just went through a second time. So he's obsessed, and the boy devours these. He'll read 1 or 2 a day. So I would say at least like we have probably 54 or more, because this one's number 54. Here's number 1. But these are just really good, and they're a good way to introduce a variety of topics to your children in a fun way. I'm sure you know about Magic Treehouse. If you don't, go check it out. So there is that, and that was for my second grader. Now my fourth grader, she moves very quickly through books. So we have Dear America books. We buy a lot of these for her. She's already read like all of the American Girl books. So, and they were like a little bit easy for her, so we figured we would move on to these. And she has really enjoyed the Dear America books. So we buy some of these for her, and then we borrow some from the library. She's read all the ones we have at home already, and we just try to keep on picking stuff up. Now, she also would just pick up novels. Like she just finished Island of the Blue Dolphins, and she read Alice in Wonderland twice this year. My kids read a lot. If they are not playing with Legos, if they are not playing with trains, if they are not playing with one of those 2 things, then they're reading, or they're outside. And that's just kind of like how we do life, I guess. So those are 2 series that we really enjoyed this year and had lots and lots of reading time. Now I'm going to move on to the family subjects that we do all together, and that is history. So I use Story of the World, and this is what the book looks like. So the way I do this, I have the book, and this is my cheapness, my frugalness, if you will, is coming out here. You'll see this is the old version. This is the original version of Story of the World, and it lines up just fine with the revised edition, which I have the book in the revised edition, but it works out, so whatever, it doesn't matter. So what I do is this year, because it saves you money, let me tell you, it saves you money. I decided, instead of making copies out of the back, because the activity book, you can just make copies out of the back. But instead of doing that, because I wanted everything all in one place, I bought these binders. And on, oh my goodness, Susan Wise Bower's website, the Peace Hill Press, you can get the all of the activities printed. And they come unbound. And you can just put them into a binder, and then you can just go through and you have everything there right where you need it. So that's my little plug for them. I would definitely say just buy the activity sheets. Don't make copies. It's not worth the money. So what we do, how we do Story of the World, is we read a chapter, or a section, I should say. We read a section. Then I go in here into the activity book, and it has questions. So I list off the questions. The kids answer it. If they can't answer it, I help them answer it. There's a narration exercise in here. I don't have them narrate it to me because my kids hate narrating. That may change this coming year. We'll see. Sorry, I'm looking to see if my chickens are at the neighbor's house. It looks like they're not. Let's hope not. And so I will read the narration to them just to kind of recap everything. And then we do the map work. So this is the map, and in here it actually tells me like what they need to do with the map work, and it gives me directions to give to them. And then there is always a coloring sheet of some sort, and we do that. And then sometimes we do the activities. There's so many different activities in here, I just kind of pick and choose. But that's how we do that. And I also try to, they give literature suggestions. So I always try to do some books. Sometimes I have books that go along with it. This year we did the Middle Ages, that's volume 2. And we read a lot of books. It was a really good year. It was really book heavy this year compared to in the past. I went lighter on the activities, heavier on the literature, which I enjoyed that. The kids enjoyed that. This was just it was a rough year with having a little one, because I had my daughter last June and she was number 4, and well, she is number 4. And so I had a little under 1 this entire school year, and it's just, that was rough. But we got through, and we got through it just fine. So for science, that's our next subject. That is a family subject. We love the Young Explorers series by Apologia. This year we did Exploring Creation with Zoology 1, and that's Flying Creatures of the Fifth Day. This one was not my kids' favorite. I think they know a lot about birds because we have chickens. And so I just think that, coupled with the year before this year, the year before last, we did a co-op with the astronomy, the Exploring Creation with astronomy. And it was fun. It was great getting together with our friends and just having other kids to do the activities with. So this year not having that was kind of rough. And again, I didn't do that this year because I had a baby, and that's just not feasible. So we still did some of the activities. Some of them we skipped. Excuse me. And if I had to do it over again, I think I would have tried to do the co-op this year. I think it would have been more fun. So these books are just really well done, and they go through in such great detail about all different kinds of flying creatures for this one and what we do with it. I think there's pollen coming in here because I have a cough now. So what we do with it is we read, and then we go into the notebooking journals. I really like the notebooking journals. I have chosen to get the junior editions for both of my kids this year. Both of them did the junior one. Next year, my daughter will be moving on to the regular notebooking journal. And I'll show you more of that stuff later. I do not want to show stuff that they're working on currently, so I'm going to try to find lessons we have not done yet. So each one starts off with coloring sheets. There's places for note taking. There's usually like a little activity, like a matching activity or something. Let's see if I can make this work. There we go. Okay, there is more. I think I'm skipping stuff here. There are more places for note taking. This is part of that activity you saw previously. There's always copy work, and they have print and cursive, which is really nice. And then it goes into, I'll pull this up. These are different book suggestions, activities, and things like that. We did not really do very much with the book suggestions. I'm thinking next year we should, but we'll see. And then this is a place to record their project or their experiment. I think that's just about, okay. This one is for the project. So there's usually a project and an experiment. And this is like the scientific speculation sheet. I feel like I'm rambling on and on and on. So that is a bulk of what we did. Our other family study that we do is tea time. What we do for tea time is we get snacks and I make some tea up for us, and usually coffee for me because I need an extra kick of caffeine in the afternoon. And on Mondays we have tea time and we do poetry. We read poetry. This year I don't have to read all the poetry. I read some. My fourth grader reads some, and my second grader now reads some of the poetry too. We listen to a composer. We do a folk song, which is just so, I love the folk songs. It's wonderful. So we do, what all did I say so far? Poetry, composer, folk song, and we also do an artist study where we look at one particular artist for 12 weeks. And we look at 6 of their works, and it's a really fun thing, and it's something that I really love about the Charlotte Mason method is doing that. And we get those, I don't just randomly pick them, we use the Ambleside Online cycle to go through, and we just follow them with how they have that laid out because it's so well done. I could not do a better job myself, so why not use what they have already put together. And that is it for what our like book work stuff kind of looked like this year. I'm gonna do subsequent videos about this and about other things. I'll go more in depth with things. We'll see how long this video is. Might have to reshoot the whole thing if it's too long. If you hung out until this point, thank you so much for watching. This is what we did this year. This is what our year consisted of. Oh, with Story of the World, we did not finish this book, and that's the beautiful thing about homeschooling. We did half of it. There are 42 lessons in here, 42 chapters, and that's a lot. It is a lot. And this was pretty heavy stuff that we were reading and learning about. So we just did half of it, and we spread it out throughout the course of our year, and we really enjoyed it. It was a good year. It was a good first half of the book. It was good. So I highly recommend all of these things that we used. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, and I'll do the best to answer whatever questions you have. Have a fantastic day. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you soon.